excited. Let's get good, y'all. It's Humankind time.
Welcome to Humankind OpenDev. My name is Jeff Spock. I'm the narrative director of the studio, and I'd like to welcome you
Spock
on our journey of co-creation and co-design with the community. Amplitude has been doing this for about 10 years, but with Humankind, we wanted to do something a little new and a little different. So we're going to start OpenDev with a series of 3 time-limited scenarios that you'll be able to play over the next few weeks. Now, obviously, Humankind is a much bigger game. These scenarios are specific to OpenDev and are tailored to show and get feedback on just a very limited set of features and mechanics that will be part of the final game. After you've played the scenario, we'll ask you for responses to a series of questions that the game designers put together so you can help us make Humankind the very best historical strategy game. We're looking forward to hearing from you. We hope you enjoy playing the game. Together, let's see how far we can push Humankind.
Let's do it, y'all. Okay, Jeff done got me excited, guys. Jeff Spock, best Spock. Let's go. Today is Humankind OpenDev. We're gonna dive in. The first opportunity or scenario we have is Towers of Babylon. Discovery, small steps, growth. Standing at the center of civilization, Babylon is, was, and always will be one of the greatest cities the world has ever seen. It's your turn to write a chapter in its glorious history. How will you be remembered? Completion time estimation is 45 minutes, so that means it'll take me an hour and a half, but we got this. So we're gonna go ahead and start the scenario. Towers of Babylon. I am stoked, guys. Towers of Babylon, current era, classical, current culture, Babylonians. Originally a modest Mesopotamian city. Oh, too fast. Okay. Anyways, here we go, back into it. Actually, give me 1 second, guys. I think I'm gonna move the webcam ever so slightly so you guys can see the research stuff. Make it a little smaller, too. Alright, here we go. Towers of Babylon. Let me tell you the story of this glorious city, how it began, how it expanded, how it thrived. Long ago, Babylon was little more than a dusty square and a smattering of market stalls, but its people had big dreams. Grow Babylon, explore its environs, and settle new lands. Expand and fortify the city. The fate of Babylon is in your hands. Objective, raise a great city of many souls protected by many armies and whose influence stretches into new lands. Okay, understood. We'll close the scenario window and let us begin. Very cool, very cool. Are you guys excited? I like the interface. It's pretty streamlined. See our gold, or I'm used to saying dust, but our gold generation up here, I think. Let's go. Let's dive right in. I'm super excited, guys. Okay, so here we can turn on the primary type of output generated by a quarter. So that's showing us just our quarter right there, which is actually really, really cool. Like, do these little arrows... Oh, if we click it, we get even better details here. Infrastructure. Within the construction list, as well as units and extensions, you'll also find infrastructures. Each city can only build one of these special buildings, and they are not placed on the map, but they will directly improve the city. They interact with quarters and other game entities in unique ways. Read their descriptions and plan your construction accordingly. First, let's build one of the infrastructures by left-clicking on its illustration. Okay? So it's showing us these are the infrastructures, the square icons. So the millstone is used to grind grains, nuts, and rootstocks. These help raise food yields. Millstone minus level 1 max. Family. I'm not sure what that means yet. Effects +4 food per number of territories. Okay, so that's pretty self-explanatory. And the cost is 30 production. It'll be 2 turns to complete. And then we have the tanning racks. Foul-smelling place, but capable of producing some of the first sought-after garments. Once again, not sure what the family thing means. I think it's a limitation on how many infrastructures you can have of each type, it seems like. Effects +2 money per number of territories, and 30 production to build that, which means 2 turns, as we already knew from this one. So I think we're going to go for food here, because money will allow us, from my understanding, to expand our territories faster, but food will give us population, which will allow us to generate more overall income. What is our FIDSy for this? It's not FIDSy anymore, it's FIMS. It's SFIMS. Yeah, SFIMS is the new thing, guys. Okay, so we're gonna go for this to get a little more F in our SFIMS. And then after that, we can build the next one. When an infrastructure, an extension, or even a unit has been selected, they are put into the construction queue. Each construction takes several turns to be completed and needs industry to be built. Notice you can also buy out any construction if you don't want to wait. Alright, so where's the buyout option? It's right here, 36 gold to buy this out. So we could buy this out. It's only 2 turns long though, so that seems kind of like a waste. Okay, that's fine. I'm not gonna buy it out. Although buying it out would help us generate more food. More food would help us generate more population. It might be a good idea to invest that money, but I think we're gonna hold it just in case we need it to get new territory. Like, that seems like a better deal. Right-clicking does pull us out of there. We can scan the map. Well, we kind of scan the map with... Okay, so S and D do what I expect. A and W do not. Let me go ahead and check our keybinds real quick. Oh, okay. S and D are down and right. Z and Q are... What? That's extremely weird. I'm gonna switch this to W, S, A, and... or rather D and A. That seems better. Okay. That gives us the ability to move the map the way we're more accustomed to. Kind of like that. I'm not sure if I unbound anything. I think it would have told me if I did, though. Okay, so this is just showing the quarters that we control right here, which is interesting. And we've also got this, which is going to show us the FIDSI on every single node. I usually love playing with this on because I'm an information hound. Like, I want to know everything. But I know that people prefer to... you know, admire the beauty. I've got the graphics settings up to the highest level, guys. This is gorgeous, and it's running smooth as all get out right now. We're not having any issues whatsoever. And then we can also just turn on tiles if we want to see those tiles. I'm going to turn all that off, though, because the only thing that we really need is just our screen right here. We're good. Okay. Game ends in 29 turns, so we get 29 turns to do stuff with. Here's our science options. We can start by going into city defense, which would give us palisades and warriors. We can go into carpentry, which would give us the lumberyard, which we know from that square setting is an infrastructure improvement. Also access to archers and clear forests. We can go into domestication, which will give us animal barns. This is additional food. We can go into the calendar, which is also additional food and an additional farmer's slot if we build that granary. But we also get access to the research quarter and the commons quarter. Commons quarter is going to help with stability, it seems like. I don't know which of these I think is going to be the best. I mean, industry is almost always, like, the best. But you could make an argument that being able to get horses and being able to generate additional food is also beneficial. I think I'm going to go for carpentry because my instinct is to go for the production. We'll go ahead and close that down. And then up here we've got some things. Opens the list of all your cities and outposts. Opens a list of all your armies. We have 19 generals and 1 administrator. As we know, administered cities have some bonuses that unadministered cities don't, but we can also build around having unadministered cities if we want. That's like a playstyle option in Humankind. Almost called it Humanity. Anyways, very excited. Let's get into it. So here are our regiment. We've got 2 scouts right now. I'm going to go ahead and split them up. First things first. Merge your armies. This army contains a single unit only, but is still using one of your empire's generals. To be able to keep creating units without suffering from a money upkeep cost due to insufficient generals, you can merge your armies. Oh, interesting. But we do have, like, 19 generals, so we're probably fine. Move an army to another army's tile if the total units of both armies is less than or equal to the unit slot limit. Both armies will be merged and become one. Where do we see our unit slot limit? Is it? I guess it's this right here. So we've got 4 unit slot limit right now. We can unlock 5 potentially by using research. We can claim a territory with these guys. I'm going to close this. So we can claim a territory with them. We know that they have 4 movement. We can also ransack something. We can't cut forest yet because we need the technology for that. We can skip their turn, or we can have them sentry, or we can have them investigate this thing right here, which is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to move them 1 hex at a time just because I want to be kind of meticulous here. We found animal remains. That gives us 5 additional science. That's very nice. Right here, it looks like we've discovered a resource. Salt. Seasons food, adds flavor, but salt's great secret is in its powers of preservation. On all cities, +2 food per salt, +5 stability per salt. That's really nice. And then up here, we have a different type of resource. I'm assuming this is a strategic and luxury resource. That's the difference. And this is copper, which we do not have the ability to extract quite yet. Now, where do we want to go? We also have this scout right here, which will probably send off into a different direction. Now, I'm inclined to send them this way because we're already going to have scouting up this way, but I think that they'll have to travel a really long distance to get down there. I'm not sure. Like, can we see our pathing? Oh, we can. Okay. So... yeah, let's do that. Let's do that, because these guys can go up and to the right, and then these guys can kind of go to the left here and look for other stuff over here. We may actually discover natural wonders and things like that too, so there's all sorts of cool stuff that can happen. Babylon is doing its thing. We have one idle army, which means they haven't used all of their movement yet, but they will very soon, because we're going to move them right here towards what we think is over here waiting to be investigated. Build an outpost. With this army action, you can set up an outpost on an unclaimed territory, one without any city or outpost already in it. In the future, this outpost can become a city. Okay, so we can claim territory here by building an outpost. If we go to do so, we can actually see what will be generated wherever we're doing it. So right here, we get a lot of production and a little bit of food and a little bit of money. But here we get science, production, and food. We just don't get any money. And we also miss out on that benefit of having salt next to us, which is problematic. But I feel like having only 2 food is also a mistake, if that makes any sense. I honestly think like maybe this is better, but I'm not exactly sure how tile growth works. I guess it's by placing districts, right? So if we start here, we can place a district to get more food, and we can place a district to get access to the salt and some more production. So I think right here is where we want to go with these guys. We'll have them do that. And if I'm not mistaken, this has a reasonably high cost. I think it's like 50 gold, but I can't say for sure. Okay, and then there is an auto-explore button if we'd like to explore automatically, but that's not what we're after right now. Gonna go ahead and end our turn. Can we close this down? We can. Okay, I was curious whether, I mean, we can... No, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, well, I just wasted a bunch of movement because I'm bad at life. Honestly, I was trying to see if we could click out of the... I can hit escape to get out of that window, I guess. I tried right-clicking out of it, and instead it was like, you want me to move, right? So that's on me. 30. Okay, so it's only 30 gold to start our first outpost here. Seems good. So now we have an outpost here. Although the outpost itself can't build districts, I'm assuming. Is there a way for us to play with this? Oh, okay, so it's going to take 2 turns to build the outpost. We can rush it for 80 gold. We don't have that, though, so we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to keep moving these guys forward to explore while we let the outpost build. I'm hoping once the outpost builds, even though it's not a city, we can get that salt. We'll see how that works out. I did waste the movement on that unit by right-clicking when I should not have. That's okay. It's a learning experience, guys. We're learning today, and it's not like we can't do this scenario again. Okay, animal remains there. 5 science is very nice. Hey, we found an animal lair. This is a lair. Destroy it, and you will stop the associated animal from spawning. To destroy a lair, you can ransack it with an army on the adjacent tile. Understood. How do we tell what kind of lair it is? Like, I don't want to destroy it if it's just some peaceful, chill animal, but, I mean, what do we get if we ransack it, though? Okay, so, like, now they're enticing me with things. Oh, we get 22 dust. Heck yeah, ransack that. Or gold. Give me my gold. Oh, we only got 15 there. I thought it said we get 22. Interesting. Potential reward is 22. Okay. Potential reward. You're not guaranteed that, but it is potentially worth 22 gold. Let's go ahead and move these guys down here so we can continue our exploration to the west. Alright. We're not going to use movement into the next turn because I don't want to accidentally move them when I don't intend to. And our city is idle because we've already constructed the millstone. So I think now what we're going to do is we're going to work on our tanning racks, potentially. We could also go for an astronomy house here. Great astronomers and adept mathematicians, Babylonian priests work in temples to understand and predict planetary movements. This would give us +2 food per researcher, +2 science per adjacent farmer's quarters, and it would give us +1 researcher slot on settlement. So that's actually really cool. Like, we can build this, I believe this is like our emblematic district, and we can build that next to our farmer's quarter to increase the yield of the farmer's quarter, while also producing an additional science slot. Pretty nice. Extension construction. Your city is now set up in a territory. The territory's borders are painted in your empire's color, and any extensions can be built in this territory. Quarters will expand the exploited area of your city and increase its population. Okay? Oh, increase its production, my bad. Left-click on a quarter and place it on the map to begin its construction. So now we need to decide what we want to make as a quarter first. I feel like production is still the way to go, since we already kind of swung into production, and getting additional production would mean we could build other quarters faster. Oh, this is really cool. So it actually shows you... Oh, that's nice. That's really nice, guys. I like that. So if we build a production quarter here, we're going to lose this 2 food, but we'll gain 6 production. It's really nice that it shows you that trade-off. That's a really, really nice UI element, in my opinion. So here, we're just gonna gain 9 production, so I'm gonna go ahead and build it here. 9 more production means we should be able to build everything else we're building a lot faster. So I'm gonna go for that, and I think we can queue up additional stuff. So I will, can I click this off? Close the tutorial. No. I don't want to close the tutorial. I want to continue the tutorial, but I also want to add this to the queue. Okay, cool. So we can queue other stuff up, which is very nice. We can see that this unit requires copper. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I'm going to try. Sabu Sakasti. As levy recruits, Sabu Sakasti are armed and trained to fight in exchange for access to temple-owned land. They are a melee unit, which means they're close combat, useful for protecting ranged units from cavalry. They're guardians, stronger when standing on a friendly extension. Very cool. They cost 170 production. That's a lot, and right now we're generating 26, so it'll be a while before we can build them. Okay, so we right-click to get out of there. I think that's what got me. You can right-click to get out of there, but if you right-click with a unit, you're moving them. So I'll just have to keep that in mind going forward. We're still ransacking here, so we already got 15, but we could get the rest of that 22, I suppose. And then these guys have already moved, so we can just end our turn. Seems good. Click to open the notification area. Ransack successful. You successfully plundered. That feels bad to read, though, doesn't it? You've destroyed the lair. Hover over the ransack icon to see your spoils. Okay. We got 22 gold for that. That was our spoils from ransacking that poor animal lair. Do y'all feel better now? I mean, we wanted the money, though, guys. The money was worth. Oh, hello there. Is this another lair that we can ransack? Are we adjacent to that? I think we are. We are indeed. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. We ransacking all the lairs, guys. We ransacking all the lairs so we can build all the extensions, which is probably a bad idea because we only have one administrator. So, like, if I overdo it, we might pay for that. Oh, hey, check this out. Okay. So we have an outpost now. Outpost Management. From an outpost, empires can exploit all the resource deposits in the territory. The associated extractor costs money, but doesn't require industry to be built. A resource deposit exists in this territory. Once you have enough money, click on the extractor building to start exploiting the resource. Very cool. We can relocate the outpost. That's not something I'm interested in doing. We can pay 100 gold to turn this into a city instead. And we can build an artisan's quarter to extract any luxury resource from the deposit it's built on. So if we do that and we pay 70, this extractor can be placed on resource deposits only. All of the resources exploited by this extractor will benefit your empire and can be traded with other empires. Cool. Oh, look at that. I love it. Little balloons and celebrations. Did they have balloons back then, though? That's a little weird. Okay, so we have salt now. Outpost Management. Once you've created an outpost, the territory where it is located is considered claimed and belongs to you. No one else can create an outpost there unless an opponent has open borders with you. They can no longer lawfully set foot inside either. If for some reason you are not satisfied with the outpost or the position of your outpost, you can relocate it somewhere else inside the territory. You can also develop it into a city, enabling resource gathering, infrastructure construction, and military production. But be aware that cities cannot be relocated. In both cases, these operations take several turns to complete. Understood. Wow, that's really cool that we got our salt right away, though. Like, that's actually really, really nice. Alright, moving forward. Over this way, yeah. Listen to that guy. He's leading. We want to come over here to investigate whatever that is, but I also want to just kind of look at the edges here. If we turn this on, can we see what we get from ocean tiles? Okay, so we get 2 food from ocean tiles, so ocean tiles seem really nice. Especially if you're just looking for somewhere to grow a city. Which makes sense. I mean, throughout human history, a lot of cities do grow next to the ocean because there's plentiful food there and other resources. Interesting. It keeps that there. I wonder if that stays there permanently, so we forever remember the horrible deeds we've committed. Oh, it seems to, guys. We get this forever reminder that we wiped out, like, a den of some poor peaceful animal. Kind of feels bad, man. Kind of feels bad. So we got 22 for ransacking that as well. I guess this is how we generate money, though, so I'm kind of okay with it at that point. Hey, we found an old hoard with some more money in it. That's 37 gold. I wonder how much we need to make another outpost. Does that scale up? Does it tell us? 45. Okay, so that does scale... Whoops. So that does scale up based on the amount of outposts you have, I'm assuming. That was 15 more than the last one we built, so that's reasonably scaling, I feel like. I don't feel like that's a crazy amount of scaling or anything. These guys are peaceful, so we don't have to fight them, but they are near us. And I'm sure if we fight them because they're animals, we might be able to get food or something for that. I just don't think it's worth it at this point. I think we want to finish exploring this particular, like, area so that we can see if there's resources, because if there are, we may want to build an outpost here, which would extend our empire and keep it connected. So far, we haven't found any resources that are worthwhile here, and if we don't find any here, then I'm either going to look on this side or this side, because those are the neighboring sort of areas, and I'm assuming that outposts probably cost more to place the further away you are from the core of your empire, too. So I don't want to, you know, move super, super far away and not be able to actually take advantage of that. Alright, you guys can keep on moving. Research it. What do we get? Hey, more science. Science is good. Free science is better. If we move up here, do we get vision of this? We do. Okay, so that's really nice. It looks like hilltops and stuff give you a little bit more vision. That's kind of cool, having that elevation play into things. So we're going to move towards this area where we might be scouting for some more stuff. In the meantime, though, let's go ahead and... yeah, that's just letting us know that we ransacked, and we can end our turn again. Carpentry has been discovered, so we can now clear forests. I wonder if that actually gives us production back. The art of woodworking is essential for bow making and lays the foundation for future constructions. We also have access to the lumberyard now, which gives us an additional production, or an additional industry, which I refer to as production on exploitations. That's actually really good, considering that we just were working on our first industry quarter, and then we have the ability to craft archers now, or to build archers. Through the army panel, you can use all the army actions that at least one unit is able to do, but you can also manage the units one by one and use their own unit actions, selecting a unit in your army by left-clicking it. Okay, so if we have multiple units and we want one specific unit to do a thing, we can click on that one unit. Otherwise, we can just pick the action from up here, and it will automatically pick the unit that can do it. Remove forest from a tile in exchange for an industry boost if you are in a territory belonging to one of your cities, or for the siege works if you are besieging an opponent's city. Oh, that's really cool. So you have to cut down wood to build siege works to siege someone's city. I like that. That's actually pretty cool. We're going to move these guys up here to go ahead and investigate this. We got a Ruin Shine. That's 10 science. I wonder if it saved that science for us since we didn't have anything in queue. It has to, right? I'm assuming it does. Masonry is an option now. That would take us further down the production road if that's where we want to go. We could also get fishing, which would allow us to make a little bit more money and bring in more food if we have water near us. Let's take a look at our starting location. We're not very near to water, are we? No, we've got a little bit of a ways to get to water, so we don't necessarily need to rush that. I'm trying to think of what is going to be the most beneficial. I think we're going to go for calendar next, because calendar is going to give us the commons quarter, the research quarter, and the granary. Yeah, that seems like a good deal. We are going to finish this quarter in 2 turns, and then we can see how that enhances our industry. Right now, we've got 26 industry. I'd like to see that grow, and I think we should see it go up to about 35 once that completes. All right, let's check our idle armies. I like that one button now moves you around like that. I mean, they kind of had that in the other games like Endless Space and Endless Legend, but it's really, really convenient that it tracks down your, like, unused armies for you. Okay, so it's very clear that there's not a whole lot here. I mean, there could be something up here, but it's very unlikely. There's like 3 hexes, I imagine, that we haven't explored. So I'm going to move into this one. Horses. Horses are good. We like horses. We are most definitively going to be building an outpost here because there are horses, and historically, horses are awesome. Let's see. We don't have the money yet. It takes 55. We'll have it soon, though, and then we can look at where we want to place it. So we'll do that on our next turn. In the meantime, I can just click down here to go to my next army and continue my explorations. Hey! Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold up, guys. Hold up. That's coffee. I don't know if you guys understand how important coffee is to the growth of an empire, but that's coffee right there. We may need to reconfigure our placement of things. No. Honestly, we'll still probably place here to get horses first, and we won't be able to get them right away because we need that technology for them, which we don't have yet. And then we'll probably grab this one because we can already see there's some marble, and then this one so we can get coffee, because coffee is vital. We could also switch out of the calendar here if we want, and it does have quite a bit of progress, so I'm assuming that it applied that science that we got to it. Domestication would take us 5 turns, give us access to those horses. Probably not a bad idea, since it's going to be 2 turns before we can place that thing anyway. I think we'll switch over to domestication. It's maybe inefficient to do that, but I think it's going to be fine. I think that's actually going to be better, because we're going to be able to exploit these horses a lot faster. You guys are out of movement. We can end our turn. Lovely. Let's go ahead and jump back over to our idle army here. I want to know where they're coming from. Probably this sanctuary right here, now that I think about it. So, of course, because we are horrible, horrible people and we need the money, we're going to ransack this sanctuary. That'll give us a little bit of extra gold even after we build our outpost here, so that's nice. Can we tab? We can't tab to our next idle unit. That would be kind of nice to be able to tab to the next idle unit. I'm sure there's a shortcut key for that, though. I bet you if I go into settings, controls, toggle visibility, grab... no. Right now there's not. But that would be nice. So that's my bit of feedback, and I'm sure they'll ask for feedback at the end, which is what makes this such a cool idea, to be honest. Like, it's one thing to do development the way they've done it in the past, where they get feedback from the audience on games together. It's a whole nother to give you scenarios to play through so you can actually experience specific gameplay mechanics that they want you to test, and then give them your feedback on those. I think that's a really, really smart and modern approach to how to do this. And this is what I thought was going to happen. Because we went up on this hill, we actually have to spend an additional movement to get back down. But we know there's something to look at over here, so that's fine. We're going to move over there. We'll jump over here. We've done our ransacking. Time to place another outpost. Ooh, look at all that food in production. So we don't get any science or money here at all. But that's a lot of food in production, guys. I like that. We're going to go for that. Lots and lots of food in production, please. And look at that. It automatically builds these little pathways so you can see the actual roads between your places. That's pretty cool. I like that a lot. Okay, so our scouts are still doing their scouty best over here. Obviously, we know there's marble in here, so it makes sense for us to move towards there and scout that. Feeling more comfortable planning a move or a turn ahead for them there, so that's fine. Oh, I went the wrong way. Okay. I didn't realize we had one movement left here anyway. So we know there's something right there. I'm going to move back that direction. Mistakes were made. That's okay. It's our first time through. And then I want to actually go check our city because it may have started building. Yeah, it did start in on that infrastructure. I'm not entirely sure that that's what I want, but I think it's okay. Astronomy house, not quite yet. I think we want food next. Food seems like a good idea. So what I want to do is figure out where the best place for us to build a food quarter is. Now, they do have to be adjacent to another quarter. That's something to keep in mind here. So if we're to build a food quarter here, then we could potentially build our emblematic district next to it. And I want to do that because I want to see exactly how this pans out. So for example, if we were to place this here, well, we need the food quarter to land first if we wanted to put it like right here, which I think is probably a good idea. But we could also place it here, but that's going to cost us some production, which I'm not fond of. So I think we'll wait on this. Yeah, I used escape instead of right-click there. The difference between right-click and escape as far as functionality goes is a little bit inconsistent to me, but that's something they can definitely change over time. If you've chosen a scientist culture, you now have access to a special action related to science. Let's select one of your cities and learn how to use it and discover its effects, okay? Scientist Affinity. Your special affinity action is available. As a scientist culture, you can order any of your cities to have a special focus on science production. If you left-click on this action, this city will stop producing industry and money, instead converting 50% of the original production into science. This focus on science production lasts at least 5 turns, and after that, you'll be able to return the city to normal again. Understood. So we could do that to increase the rate at which we unlock horses here, which would allow us to probably build that in the same amount of time it's going to take us to finish that outpost, right? Let's, yeah, so our outpost is already kind of down here. It's ready to go, or it will be in 2 turns. The problem is this locks us in for 5 turns with no production or money. I'm not sure I'm fond of that, to be honest. If it was like trading money, I'm fine with that. Take my money, give me science, I'll rush for that. It's the fact that it kills my production. It basically also slows the gains of everything else because production is so key. So I'm not going to use that right this moment. I'll probably use it once we get maybe our tanning racks won't matter at that point. No, I'm not going to swap those. We're going to let this finish. I'll use it, but I'll use it when we need to, like, rush through a brand new research that we haven't started anything on. That seems like a better idea to me. It seems like a waste to do it right now, to just finish something we're going to get relatively soon anyway, and slow the production in our main city. Our only city, mind you. So we can now order armies to complete the movements that we've assigned them, so that will keep these guys moving, as we've already told them what to do. Lovely. So you can plan your turns in advance like that. Oh, that's nice. Resource deposit. This element indicates the location of a resource deposit. Resources can be exploited by a city or an outpost in the same territory. There are two types of resources. Strategic resources with a gray icon are used as a prerequisite for some constructibles. Luxury resources with a yellow icon provide economic bonuses for all cities. You can mouse over to learn details about the resource. Understood. I'm going to send them over here next turn to check that area out, and then we're going to reveal the rest of this map. What's interesting is I thought we saw something over here, but it doesn't look like it's here now. I guess I should have known that when we stopped next to it and didn't see it, but I could have sworn there was like a question mark to be discovered there, right guys? Tell me if I'm wrong. We gained another population in Babylon, that's awesome. We can then choose where we want that population to be focused. So if we move this population over here, we're gaining... We're gaining additional food. Oh, okay, so it's the leftmost one you click that defines how many you're dragging and dropping. So here it's 8 turns. Still 8 turns, so it doesn't make a difference there. It does make a difference here. We see this go down to 3 turns. Obviously, we can put it into money, and that'll make a difference on money. How many turns do we have left on this? 2? So if we put them in science, will that go to 1? It will! Look at that. That seems good. Let's do that. And then if we move this out, does this go longer than 8? It doesn't. So since we're not affecting our population growth by moving that population, I'm going to put them into industry because it will build our farmer's quarter faster. And then after our farmer's quarter is built, we'll place our astronomy house. And then I think after the astronomy house, we'll go for the lumber yard to get more production. Okay, ending our turn. Domestication. The taming and breeding of wild animals such as pigs and buffalo brings new means of eating and working. Lovely. Show me the science panel. We're going to go back to the calendar now so that we can finish the technology that we already started. It looks like it already assigned the calendar to us since we'd started it. That's kind of convenient. And then in the meantime, we're also going to buzz over here. Well, that's interesting. If I'm holding 2 movement keys, it seems to move faster than if I'm holding 1. Maybe that's just... Maybe I'm misperceiving that. It does seem a little bit faster. So we need 50 gold in order to build a horse ranch here, which is something I had not considered. So we'll have to find ourselves some more money if we want to get that horse ranch. Hello there. Found a ruined shrine, got a little bit of science. We also know there's something up here, so we'll just send them there for the next turn. And we'll jump over to our idle army here. And we'll go ahead and move up this way, over that away. Hey, look, more things to discover. That's some extra money. I'm very thankful for that. Thank you, game. That's a nice little gift. We'll go ahead and move them up here next. So now we've got their moves mostly planned for next turn. And of course we can zoom out to get a nice view of the overworld as we know it. It does seem like it moves... No, now it's moving a little bit slower. It's really weird how the camera movement speed seems to shift a little bit. That may just be something that needs ironed out though. So let's go ahead and keep things flowing. Calendar is complete. This means we have access to the granary, the commons quarter, and the research quarter. Commons quarter is interesting because it generates influence and stability, which I don't think are going to play a big role in what we're doing today for this scenario. The science quarter is interesting as well, but I think that going too hard into science when we're limited to 19 turns is probably not going to be that beneficial. Although it could be, because like you could rush your way into some really, really good science stuff. Let's go for... What's our stability like right now? Stability's really... it's reasonable. We're under control. So we're at 57%, which means we're under control. The state will remain as long as your settlement... your settlement public order stays between 30 and 90. So we've got plenty of room. We don't need more stability. Irrigation is more food, stability, and even more food. City defense gives us warriors and fortifications. I think we'll take that because one of our goals for this scenario is to build defenses as well. So we're going to do that. Unit construction. From your cities, you can create military units. To do so, you will need to left-click on their icon in the construction list to send them to the construction queue. Note that in addition to the industry costs, some units need strategic resources to be created. Okay, so we do not have the copper necessary to make our Sabu Sakasti, but we do have the ability to make archers now. So we're going to go ahead and make ourselves an archer here. We can buy out. You now have enough money to afford this constructible without waiting. You can obtain it straight away by clicking on the buyout button. Note that you can also directly buy out constructibles such as units and infrastructures which are not queued for construction thanks to a similar button. So what I'm gonna do is, oh no, that's not what I wanted. Where is said similar button? Interesting. Oh, click to queue, click to buy out. There we go, that's what it is. So you can buy out stuff that's just down here by clicking this toggle. Okay. That is very cool, but we're not gonna buy this out because we want to save our money so that we can get our horses, which is our next step. Actually gonna zoom out here and then zoom in because that's a little bit faster than actually having the camera move. All right, bam, there we go. All the balloons and celebrations. Balloons and fireworks before we have either, I would assume, but hey, I'll take it. It looks cool. Okay. Let's go up here. Whoa, that is a lot of critters. Thankfully, they're peaceful critters. So we're definitely going to want to place an outpost here to get access to these marbles. Ooh, +2 industry for our empire. I like that. I like that a lot, guys. That makes me happy. I love my industry. Hey, we found a natural wonder. Great blue hole. All manners of sea creatures stalk the hole's uncharted depths, from sharks to gobbies to angelfish. What's a gobby? I don't know. Oh, I think it's pronounced goby, whatever it is, but yeah, not too familiar with fish. There is a potential fight here. We would win. There's a sanctuary right there. Let's do it. Let's do it just to see what happens. Confirmation phase. You've engaged an enemy in battle. If this was a mistake, you can cancel the attack by using the retreat button. Are you telling me something, game? If you do so, your army will be moved automatically using its maximum movement points, no matter if they have been spent before, until the end of the turn. The retreating army will receive a retreat status, locking several army actions and preventing further retreat. Note that the enemy can also choose to retreat. You can also left-click on the Confirm Battle button to commence the fight. Notice the overall army strengths to help you estimate the outcome of the battle. All right. So, we can confirm the battle. Your side is stronger overall, so we're in a good spot to confirm the battle. I think we go for it here. Mainly because I want to see how this works out. Deployment phase. You can move your units anywhere you want on your side of the battlefield. This is a good moment to use the terrain. Elevation will give better vision and combat strength bonuses. Forest tiles reduce rain damage, and rivers decrease the combat strength of all units fighting on them. So if we could get to a higher elevation, that would be ideal. Note that its movement points are not depleted during this phase, okay? When you're satisfied with your unit placement, you can click on the End Deployment button to start the fight. You can also use the Auto Battle toggle when activated. The computer will play instead of you, but you can take the controls back whenever you want by deactivating the toggle. In that case, you will control your army in every round until the battle ends. That's fine. I'm going to leave Automatic Battle off here first because I want to kind of play with this and see what happens. We don't have any support or reinforcement units available. So we're already on an equal elevation ground. If we come down here to forest, it'll slow unit movement. Can we see their movement? We can't. Okay, so without being able to tell... Oh, we can, maybe. Yes? Yes. So they have 3 movement, but I don't know how the turn order works because it might be more beneficial with them having 3 movement if we could place ourselves like 4 movement away, which we can't. Oh, but they do get slowed. Slows unit movement and restricts vision, but provides a defensive bonus against missile fire. Okay, so it slows their unit movement, which means I'm guessing it takes 2 movement to go through a forest. So they would be able to get still close enough to hit us. There's really no reason to do that. We're just going to end deployment here. Oh, what? What the? Okay. Look at that. That deer is clever, y'all. Very clever. 1, 2, 3. I wonder if he's just running from us, though. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to move right here and see if the deer actually comes towards us. If it does not, then we know that it's just running and we actually need to close distance with it if we want to fight. There we go. Get them, boys. Bring home dinner. Note that you can end a round anytime by left-clicking on this end turn button. Auto battle mode. Oh, okay. Well, it's gone now. But yeah, we killed us a deer. Did we get some food for that? How's that work? Uh-oh. Where did our... There they are. Okay, battle report. The battle has ended. The outcome is already visible, but if you want to learn more details, you can left-click on the panel. Victory! We lost 19% health, but we destroyed their units. They're peaceful deer units. Can we still move? We cannot. So we've expended our movement for the round. That's absolutely fine. Go ahead and end our turn here. We have an idle army waiting. Yes, we would like them to move forward and... Oh wait, we don't need to go that far. Okay, cool. We actually stopped shy. I appreciate that game. Let's go ahead and ransack this, and then we can have our other units move because they were going to investigate a point that we saw. They're just not quite there yet. Ba-dang! Oh, look at that. To represent the challenges of logistical support for armies, your empire has a limited number of generals. Unlike administrators, generals are automatically assigned to an army upon creation. A general will also be automatically unassigned if its army is destroyed or merged. If the number of available generals falls to 0, each subsequent leaderless army will incur a monetary cost. This cost increases with each passing turn, so beware. The stock of generals can be increased via technologies or traits. So that's your military limitation, which is kind of cool because it means that if you make bigger armies, you can have more of them. So what that does from like an economy standpoint is it means that you can't just pump out a bunch of cheap units and keep throwing them at people. Well, you can, but you're likely to run out of generals before you overpower somebody that's actually trying to build up economically. So I think what that'll do in the overall like arc of the game, at least thus far, is it'll make it so that the military strategies slow down a little bit, and they give you time to actually enjoy an economic or a diplomatic strategy if that's something you're playing, which is really good. I find one of the most difficult things in 4X balance is to allow military to feel good, but not to completely overpower everything else so that you can't enjoy any other playstyle, because at the end of the day, it always breaks down to fighting. So I think that there's a lot of strides being made in Humankind to kind of allow for that expression of an economic or diplomatic victory. Did we already... Okay, I got confused and thought maybe we took that region too. We did not. There are some deer to be hunted here, but I don't know that there's any value in hunting them because we didn't really get anything for it. And this is a regiment of warriors. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring them home. And the main reason I'm going to bring them home is I want to see if putting them in our city actually increases defenses or anything. Hey, we've unlocked the ability to produce warriors and fortifications. So from there, I think horsemanship is a good pickup. It gives us scout cavalry, which have 6 movement, which should allow us to explore the map a lot faster. So I'm going to go for that. We have discovered Danakil Desert. Intense heat, sulfur springs, and smoking mountains greet the traveler who crosses this unforgiving landscape. Very cool. Oh, look at that. Okay, so what does this do? Natural Wonder controls effect. So if we control the territory this is in, we get +5 influence, +10% or +10 stability, +10 money per Natural Wonder on settlement. So I guess if our settlements are next to the Natural Wonder, we get additional money as well. This one has the effect of granting 1 industry and 1 additional vision range, and it was first discovered by us. Lovely. So I wonder what this one grants. Let's go look at that. Come on, game. There we go. +5 influence, +10 stability, +10 money. Okay, so they're basically the same thing when you find these different wonders. I'm sure that might change in time. It really, like, this is a very early version, obviously, and they're only showing us specific stuff. But that's very cool that, like, capturing natural wonders actually helps with, like, your nation's money and things like that. Which makes sense. You're basically running a tourist booth there. That's the plan, guys. Tourist booths everywhere. Okay, so we'll take these warriors back down towards our capital here. It's going to take them quite some time, but I really want to commit to that, so we're going to spend 5 turns getting them down there. We don't really have any enemies to fight yet anyway, so they're really just walking around. It is worth noting, though, that they can claim territory, which is quite nice. And then we've got our other scouts right here, which we can do whatever we want with. At this point, I think we're going to go ahead and take them up this way. I don't think there's anything else here that we can really get. We may want to start looking at where we would want to settle. We need 70 money to settle here. Whoops, wrong key. Okay, so 70 money to settle here, which is unfortunate. Let's go ahead and end our turn. Order our armies to continue their movement. Get you moving. Oh, hey, look at that. Next turn, they're going to go ahead and discover whatever that is. Alright, and then we have these guys ready to move as well. Now, I kind of want to keep them in this area so that we can claim the territory, but it's going to be a while before we have 70 money. So I'm tempted to move them more north, especially since there's food here. Actually, let's look at this. Let's look at the... Ooh, these river tiles are nice. These river tiles are very nice. So we're going to want to place our thing probably right over here. So I think for right now, just having them hang out is the right idea. We can put them in sentry mode, exclude this army from the list of idle armies until an enemy army enter one of its adjacent tiles. Seems good. Let's do that. Because we just want them to hang out until they can place the outpost there. And you warriors can actually come over here before you head home, because I think we'll have an archer. Yeah, we'll have an archer in one turn to defend Babylon. And then after that, we need to consider what we're doing next in Babylon. I think we're going to build the astronomy house, which is, there we go. Our quarters must be placed adjacent to an existing one. They will exploit all the adjacent unbuilt tiles. And please note that the synergies, okay, these mean that at least one unbuilt adjacent tile will augment your new quarters production. Okay. Left click on a synergized tile to construct your quarter and benefit from the bonus. So this is a synergized tile, if I'm not mistaken, because this wants to be built next to a farm. Science per adjacent farmer's quarters, yeah. And we have a farmer's quarters right here, so we're going to put it right here, and that gives us that +2 science. Very nice. We also gain 9 additional food from these tiles that were unexploited previously. Very, very nice right there. And then what do we want to do next? I think next we probably want to go for lumber mill. We're at the point where building these infrastructure things makes more sense. So I'm honestly just going to queue up all of our infrastructures here. If we need to, we can come back and we can spread out more. We probably don't need that second population in science. I think it's going to be more beneficial in industry here. Should help us move through this queue a little bit faster here. We could also go for more population faster, so that's 4 turns. 4 turns. Can we get down to 3? We can't. So the fact that we can't move that down to 3 means I'm going to move that back over there. I like micromanaging population. That's like one of my things for playing 4X games, so don't mind me. Gonna go ahead and end our turn here. We have unlocked horsemanship, which means that now, since we have access to horses, we should be able to build those scouts and get a lot more vision a lot faster. Fishing is actually an option for us. We can build a harbor. This is an actual... Oh, cool. That's a quarter, even. We can also build a fishery. I'm going to go for fishing here since we just hit the water. Ooh, and then we're going bronze working so we can get copper. Bronze working to get copper makes a lot of sense. Also gives us access to a castle district, garrison for fresh soldiery. A castle also gives strength to those who fight in its shadow and can be placed far from the city walls. Very cool. So that's like actually a distant district you can place to help control like certain points in your areas. That's actually really nice because you can build castles to control like choke points where a bunch of different territories come together, that kind of thing. I dig that. That's a very, very nice feature. Okay, let's see. Keep moving, everybody. Got a discovery here for 5 gold. Very nice. We should have a discovery up here as well. That was 10 science. And I think if we check down here, we can see that. Yeah. Oh, no, we can't. That was not what I thought it was. Okay. So that's interesting that we can't necessarily see what all we discovered that turn, but I think that that would be nice to have. Especially if you're going to allow multiple units to kind of move without... Oh, that was a mistake. I could have gone there. I just wanted to make sure we saw all the tiles here. I'm going to move that over and go that way next. These guys are camping out until we have the 70 gold we need to get our marble here, which is very nice. And these guys are basically just running around. We don't get anything from killing the wild animals, unfortunately, but we can ransack this sanctuary right here. There we go. Oh, look, and another thing to be discovered right there. This is actually a really nice little parcel of land just for discoveries and ransackable sanctuaries. Okay, let's jump to our idle armor, or idle army, which is our regiment here. There doesn't seem to be an option. The fact we have an attack when we're on Babylon makes me uncomfortable, but obviously we're not going to be able to attack our own place. We can sentry here, I suppose, and I wonder if that has an effect on Babylon's stability at all. It does seem to have gone up by 2, but that might be from the growth state. I don't think that's actually from them being there. Okay, ending our turn. One new notification, we have successfully ransacked a thing. We have 1 idle army waiting for orders. They're going to go ahead and discover this. 10 more money, beautiful. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, you guys are going to be building our new outpost right here. It's really weird that we're somehow not getting stuff from all the tiles adjacent to us when we go here. At the same time, though, that's a lot of food and a lot of production in a very arid and dry area that's not going to provide a lot of either otherwise. Which is actually interesting in its own right, because it really impresses upon you how valuable, like, having rivers in your territory is. I'm gonna go right there, yeah. I mean, the production and all that doesn't matter until we turn it into a city anyway, which is something we haven't been too inclined to do as of yet. So, yeah, seems fine. Let's get exploring. We're just going to send these guys off to explore now. There is another discovery to be made right here. That's incredible. This area was just rich with discoveries. We may actually want to build an outpost here at some point next to these wonders so that we can then move over here and still have access to building a city there. But I think I'll go for the coffee next because luxury resources are awesome. Okay, everybody move. Yeah, they didn't find anything special out here. I could move forward maybe one more hex just to make sure. Yeah, okay, there's nothing here. There's nothing here. Let's bring them back this way. Go ahead and end our turn. Trying to move a little bit faster through the turns now, guys, now that we have a feel for how everything's working. More population was gained. That's lovely. Order our armies to complete their movements. Here we have discovered 10 more science. That's nice. And yeah, I don't know what we need to do with these warriors now other than bring them home to defend. I suppose we could take them to the east here just to keep exploring. Oh, that sweet, sweet copper looks so good. Actually, that's a really, really nice way to represent a copper vein, too. Graphically, this game is just gorgeous. It really is. Let's go ahead and end our turn. Fishing is now available to us, so we can build a harbor if we want to. Oh, I like that. It tells us there's no research over there. I've just been using this to get to it. We want copper next, or we could get the wheel to build roads. Automatically creates roads between empires. These roads set the movement cost of the terrain to 1. So that will help negate terrain penalties of moving through forests and things like that, so that's kind of useful. But I want the bronze working here so we can start collecting that copper. Speaking of collecting, now that we've built this, we actually need to... we actually need to go ahead and get 86 gold so that we can start gathering marble. Alrighty, so we know what our objective is. We need more money. And if we need more money, then I think we might want to do something here. Harbor construction. You're able to build a harbor. Harbors exploit all coastal tiles within 2-tile radius and create synergies with market quarters. They also are required to build ships and act as naval spawn points. Harbors can only be built on coastal tiles, water tiles where you can see the seabed. Oh, so these. That's cool. That's the differentiator right there. Awesome. So we now have access to a harbor. I was going to build something for more money here. I felt like we needed a way to generate more money, but I actually don't see anything that's going to give us more money yet. So sure, let's throw a harbor into queue. A harbor actually will give us more money, is basically what it just told us. So if we go here, we get 8 more food. We go here, we get 6, and then 6 here. I'm going to go here and get 8. That seems fine. We are a little packed in right here. That feels a little bit uncomfortable, but we could always grab this territory if we wanted to expand that a little bit more. Although I don't know if that would work. I think you'd have to make it an actual city to get that. In the meantime, though, let's go ahead and bump the harbor up. How long would it take if we put it at the very front? How long if we put it right after our production thing? Okay, so that seems fine. 10 turns, we have 13 left. We'll get our harbor right before we're done with the scenario, so that's good. Yes, you gentlemans. You can come on this way. I probably should have just had them keep moving, because we're just going to use them as scouts now anyway. 1 idle army, you guys are scouts, get to scouting. That's what I was hoping for, that if we move them we would find some things. Seems good, we're going to go get that as well. With this unit we're going to go right here, and then we'll end our turn. Turns are going along a lot faster now. Okay, that gave us some stuff. That gave us 10 science as well. Let's go for this. And then you guys are going to go down this way. And of course, our warriors are floating around somewhere. A new event has occurred, a melody for every occasion. In the teeming, iconic city of Babylon, musicians are a celebrated part of the local culture. With a long history in holy rites, they bring nobility to religious rituals, jollity to palace celebrations, smiles to the sick and ailing, courage to marching armies, and distraction to the gods. Alas, they are still too small in number, especially the good ones. And now, word of their renown has reached across the empire. Lords, priests, commanders, among others, are grousing that their city deserves such artists too. How will you satisfy them? Sorry about that, guys. Let's see. So what will we do here? Okay, so we have the option to muster street musicians, riddle Babylon. They could help commerce elsewhere, even if they distract learning. Parsimonious on Babylon for 10 turns. That gives us additional money and science. could have unexpected consequences. Or we can build. Every city will be required to build an institution of music where we can teach new performers. That will cost us all of our gold, and it will give us overproductive, which is plus 10 industry for 3 turns. Wow, that's really good. Could have unexpected consequences. So I like this one for giving us more gold, whereas this one takes all of our gold away. But it does give us additional production. But only for 3 turns. I'm gonna go with muster here. I think that's the better option for us. Alright, seems good. Lovely. You can actually see the health of your main plaza and your city right there, or rather your fortifications and your city right there. That's nice. Is land unit spawn. Base movement cost is 1, not available in this building. And you can see all the exploited terrain and stuff. That's cool. So we should be getting additional gold now, which means it should be a lot easier for us to gather more resources. Bronze working has been completed. Let's go ahead and see what other research we might get here. Wheel is pretty good for us. Once we get access to copper, that would give us the chariot, but writing will give us the market quarter, which we actually need to make more gold, so I'm going to go for that. Feels like that maybe should be one of your first researches past food and production. Okay. Research is done. A new curiosity was collected. Oh, there we go. So it does store that down there. Very nice. So we got 5 money. I think it's if it's on your screen, it may not store it down there. I'm going to go here just to make sure we don't... Yep, that's what I expected. That's what I expected right there. They're going to move in here, and then I think that's it. Yes, end our turn. Lovely. Everybody do your movement things. We should have enough gold now to gather that marble. Oh, but we may also have enough to get the copper, and I think the copper is more valuable, so we're going to get the copper. Bam! Look at that, y'all. We got copper now. Very, very nice. If we go to Babylon now, that we have access to copper, we should be able to build... Hey, we can build Sabu Sakastis. Awesome. I love it. I love it a lot. There's also the forge now. Very, very cool. This is an infrastructure thing that increases the output of the production maker's quarters. Very nice. And then we can make a scout cavalry as well. There's so many cool things that we can make now. I want to build the Sabu Sakasti just because they are a unique unit, and I want to see what they look like, basically. That's really the only reason why, guys. It's a super, super professional industrial reason. Wait a minute. Did I just see something? Hello, look at that. Attach outpost. You can attach this outpost to the selected city by left-clicking on this button. The associated territory will come under the direct control of the selected city at a specific cost of money. This could be useful when you don't have many administrators or running out of space to build extensions. Click this to attach this territory. Be careful, expanding regions comes with a stability cost. I mean, so basically it turns that line from solid to dotted and combines the regions. Let's do it. It's 50 gold. We have enough. Bam, look at... Oh, wow, look at that. That's actually super cool. This is one of my favorite features of the Humankind game design, is being able to actually just build one big city by combining other regions. I think that's actually one of the major high points of it for me. But we also gain access to all those resources, which is very nice. Currently, we're making more money because we have one person in money. We could move that person into production. Wouldn't make much of a difference, though, so we're going to move them back there. Question is having somebody in food helping? Because if it's not, let's make more money. So we're going to make even more money now. All about making that extra dollar. Now, we should be able to, if I'm not mistaken, we should be able to add other neighboring regions that we control as well. Yeah, that's going to cost us 100 gold to bring them in. It will reduce our stability, though, and currently our stability is at 54%. Public orders, it will evolve every turn by -5% until it reaches 33%. Okay, so now we actually have a stability issue. And we need to generate more stability, which means that we need to build a commons quarter. Now the question is, where do we want to build that? Right here seems ideal because we're not sacrificing as many tiles as we would be in other places. Yeah, let's do that. We're gonna go right there. Okay, so we're going to let that do its thing, and then we have 3 idle armies. Hey, we found more horses, which is important because some of the units do have a resource requirement of more than 1, and I'm assuming you'll need to control 1 node of that resource for each requirement. So if it says 2 copper or something, you'll need 2 copper nodes. Same for horses. I think the chariot took 2 copper nodes to make. I'm actually surprised it doesn't take 2 horse nodes to make, because that would also make a lot of sense. Hey, there's some more salt here. Let's go that way, and end our turn. Alrighty. Everybody keep moving. The Old Horde, we got 5 gold for that. It looks like these guys did just miss that, so we'll send them back to grab it. A new event occurred, a melody for every occasion too. Music has flourished across the Empire in light of your choice to hire street musicians. Of course, the style is more chaotic than formal, but the sounds are energetic, alive, and ever-evolving. New instruments emerge all the time. The exciting, turbulent musical culture is well established. There you go, guys. Jingle jangle. Music is not some sacred art for the few. Everyone should be free to pursue their talents. Very cool. I like that. That's pretty nice. Alright. 2 idle armies remain. Let's go ahead and send these guys this way. And then let's check our other idle army, which is up here. That looks like a really, really big mountain, so that could be like a special one. Oh, wait a minute. Pearls. Pearls are cool. I like pearls. We won't be able to get that until... Oh, actually, I guess if we take this region, we'd get horses and pearls. And we are already attached to them, so let's see what it would cost for us to do that. 85 money. We'll be there relatively soon if we want that. We've got 9 turns left with which to do things. Writing has completed now. That gives us access to our market quarters here. And the House of Scribes, which is additional science and a researcher slot. Very cool. Hey, philosophy. I gotta take this just... Oh, it gives us an additional administration count. So that's how we can build additional cities here. That's very cool. And then Standing Army would give us access to Iron, a City Watch, and Swordsman. I'm gonna go for philosophy because how do you not take philosophy? How do you not? Philosophy is awesome. So we got some money from there, some money from there. Very nice pickup. I think that gives us enough gold to... We're 1 gold off. Whoops. We're 1 gold off of placing a outpost here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the FIDS display and see where we want that outpost. I feel like right here is really good. We get a lot of food, we get a lot of production. Yeah, I think that's good. Let's send these over here so that they're in position to do that. And we're only 1 away from building out onto the ocean if we do actually turn this into a city at some point. Okay, so 2 idols here. We should actually look at making one of our other regions into a city while we're at it, mainly because we will have access to another administrator by the time we need it. But that's going to take 100 gold, so we're going to have to make a lot of gold here very, very quickly. So I need you guys to put in work. You need to make trails and find us all the money. Oh, what am I doing? Stop here, stop here, stop here. Darn, we don't have the movement to ransack this yet, but that's okay. We'll ransack it next turn. Ending our turn. Ransack this for money, please. You guys can keep moving this way because we know there's something to be discovered there. We are up to 113 money, which means at this point we can either build our outpost or start building another city. Because building a city probably is going to take us time, I'm going to actually do the other city first. Now, I'm going to do that right here because I think we have a better overall, like... Although this is a ton of production. I'm going to do it here anyway. Although, if we do it here, I wonder how that affects our ability to, like, create extensions. I guess we could just attach this to this city instead, which is interesting because that would give us 2 separate cities that are both capable of unique growth like that. That's very cool. 3 turns to turn this into a city, 10 before we have access to our administrator. Now might be a good time for us to take advantage of our science trait. Bam, let's do that. 3 turns now to get access to our second administrator. That's how we do it, y'all. That's how we do it. I did that on purpose. I knew it was going to be that much. I'm just brilliant sometimes. Rarely. Okay, let's end our turn here. Oh, we had these guys in position because they were going to build a city here. I'm going to leave them there so that, you know, once we do have enough money, we can go ahead and do that as well. You guys are going to come up here to get that discovery. You guys are going to grab this discovery. So that's some extra money. Hey, another unit. That's good. Units are good. They help us scout further, faster. Okay, everybody get to scouting. Except you guys. You guys are required to stay here until we can build an outpost, which is still 85 money. Oop, wrong key. And we're generating 0 money from any source other than exploration right now. So it's a little bit of a gamble to just leave them kind of sitting there. But I think it's going to be fine. We are finding enough resources quickly enough. Just have them sentry there for a moment. Seems good. Okay. Ending our turn. 5 turns left, guys. 5 turns left to make the great Babylon people as great as we possibly can. Yes.
Off we go.
Let's go. Oh, no. No, no, no. We don't want to fight anything. What we do want to do is get this discovery right here, though. That's going to be a little bit of a trip for them to get there. Hey, that's not. What's up? Oh, so we unlocked philosophy already. That means we probably just found science right there. And then we'll come down here as well, and that's going to be some extra money. Very nice. Very, very nice. We need new research now. We're going to go for the wheel to give us more roads. That'll be done in 1 turn due to our science boost. That's crazy. Wow, okay. Science boost, very good. Has everybody moved? Everybody has to be, or it wouldn't have given me the end turn button. So we've already completed the wheel. On to our next discovery. Let's go for maybe trade expeditions. That gives us a transport galley, which... interesting. These merchant ships are commandeered for use as military transports. Oh, okay. Okay, so those are merchant ships, but they're not used as merchant ships. The other option is rhetoric here, which would give us the theater and the library, as well as the games. I like that. I do think masonry is a better choice, though, so we're going to get masonry. That'll also be done in 1 turn. Wow, this is like almost a science catch-up mechanic, right? So we can basically just get tons of... and we finish masonry already. That's insane, guys. How fast is that? Let's go for the rest of the 1-cost ones so that we can just knock them out really quickly. If we have anyone left with movement, we can keep moving and maybe make a discovery that will give us additional science stuff. Oh, that looks like a really cool natural wonder. I wonder if it is. It might just be a mountain. 1 idle city. Hey, there we go. There is no administrator assigned to your city, meaning production is diminished. Oh, okay, we can assign one, though. If there is an available administrator in your resource banner, left-click to assign it. Otherwise, unlock more of them through technologies. Assign. There we go. Okay, so now we have an administrator here, which is great. We're going to go ahead and start by building... I mean, probably the lowest cost ones first. So let's get more food first. Let's get more industry first. Yeah. Let's get a little bit more money first. So it is nice because you can see that they're at the same amount of turn values, which means that the production cost for stuff is laid out in a way that there are basic improvements for each type of resource, which is very nice. That's a very good balancing mechanic. Sins of the Father. The birth of writing has permitted words of your great deeds to be recorded and disseminated among your people, but it has also allowed a person's debts to be tallied. In the past, the person's debts died with them. Now they are inherited by their offspring. However, in the new city of Dilbot, the political leadership wishes to strike these debts from the record for anyone who makes the city their home. What do you say? The Empire will take on the debt of any citizens who come and make Dilbot their home, +2 population on Dilbot, -100 gold. Those owed will be happy to hear their interest-paying monies are still due. That makes Dilbot prosperous for 10 years. Restrict. In the interest of fairness, only those with small debts will be given the right to settle. I think this is the most balanced one. I'm going to go for that. I know, the most balanced one probably isn't the most fun one, but I'm all about that balance, y'all. Hello, discoveries. So that's a ruined shrine. We can send them there to make even more discoveries. Wow, there's just a ton of stuff to be discovered up here. Like a ridiculous amount. We might just send them over there, since this one's already working its way up there. And then we have 2 armies down here. So I might send this one up to discover that, and then this one will continue down this way, because I'm reasonably... oh, that's not us. That's a neutral army. I'm like trying to move the deer, y'all. The deer aren't doing their jobs. Okay, let's end the turn. Our science mode is probably over soon. We got access to irrigation now. Let's get sailing. We're just burning through science. This is crazy. Like, okay, for a second I was like, a science boost, that's not that great. Like, what good is that? No, it's good, y'all. It's very, very good. Yes, ransack that sanctuary, please. And then you guys can come and investigate this. We have to go around the deer or fight the deer. I'm just gonna go around them because that's the natural route it's giving it. Hydrology, we have 3 turns left. Let's go. We do have 2 cities now. And we have enough gold to grab another territory up here, which is something we've been waiting on, so we're going to do that. Bam! We have successfully captured another territory that will also give us access to horses and oysters if we have that is oysters, right? No, that's pearls. My bad. Pearls, not oysters. And then we can take this unit and begin to scout some more up here. Seems good. Everybody move. You guys are free to continue going this way. Let's see what you can find. Hey, we got lucky and stepped right onto a discovery there. Can we keep going? We can, so we're gonna keep on moving. One turn left. This is it, y'all. The final turn. Dun dun dun.
Come over here.
Whatever shall we do? I wish we had enough money. Actually, I do want to check one thing before our last turn. We have Dilbat here. I want to see if we can... Yep, we can pay 50 to connect that to Dilbat, but what about this region that's connected down here to the other? So we can't do it here. So you can't, like, build a city and then connect that city to your main city. Once you've built a city, that's what you've got. But you can build multiple cities that contain multiple regions, which is cool on its own. That's actually really, really nifty. I like that a lot. We're not going to activate that. We're not going to activate that because we want to wait and see if we can finish the tanning thing in Dilbat on our very last turn of the game. Because that is... I don't know if it, like, scores us or what. Like, that'll be interesting. If it scores you, it's going to be interesting because everybody's going to do better than me. Alright. Got some science there. That's lovely. Keep on going. And we end our turn. How far will you push Humankind? So cool. Alright, let's see if it gives us the survey after this. Oh, this is... Look at that, the industrial age. This looks hot, guys. I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Hi, it's me again, back to say just a few words.
Hey, it's
First,
the best
and
spot.
most obviously, thank you for playing. We really hope you enjoyed it. Again, keep in mind that this is just a glimpse of what the full game will have to offer. The scenario you just played was specifically designed for OpenDev.
Yes.
Now, if you have time, we would really appreciate hearing your feedback. The game designers have put together a list of questions that would help us make Humankind the very best historical strategy game.
Alrighty.
If you're interested in hearing more about this, come join the community on Games Together.
Oh, okay.
Thanks again for playing, and thank you for leaving your mark on Humankind.
Alright, so I gotta go to the forums to make my response. In any case, we hope you enjoyed this scenario. Thank you for playing. Your story of this encounter is somewhat different from official historical records, perhaps, but it was great and memorable journey nonetheless. 2 outposts, 3 territories attached, 6 population, 5 units, 14 technologies, 8 extensions. Perhaps you'd like to replay and see if you can do even better. So this is our score. In any case, we hope you enjoyed the scenario and we're eager to hear your feedback. So if we click this... Oh, is it going to open it in-game? It is! Introduction. Thank you for playing OpenDev Scenario 1. We hope you enjoyed it. Because your opinion truly matters, we would appreciate if you took the time to tell us about your experience with the OpenDev. This survey should not take more than 10 minutes and will greatly help our team to bring Humankind to the next level. Okay. Anyways, folks, I had a blast with Humankind. This looks great. It's kind of sad that this is just the scenario because we don't know what's going to be in from this and what's not. But I thought it was great. It was very enjoyable. I think that it's coming along in an amazing way, and I'm actually really, really excited now to see these next couple scenarios and stuff. King of the Hill, Beneath Our Hooves, Loot and Pillage, Wading into Battle. Very, very cool stuff, guys. I hope you're as excited as I am, and I will see you next time. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to go ahead and give us a like or subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time. Bye!